On today's episode, we'll be talking about, is your marketing seeing double? How double readership path boosts response. A puzzling, outrageous mailing that produces outrageous results, and an answer from a Glazer Kennedy Gold member marketing question. Welcome to No BS Live, the place for prosperity without the bull. I want to talk to you about creating a double readership path in your marketing and why this is just so important. Here's what this is all about. Did you ever get a sales letter in the mail and you looked at it and you said, I'm not going to read all that stuff. I'm not really interested in spending the time to read everything. Well, everybody thinks that way. So what you want to do is when you create a sales letter, a sales message, you want to do what's called a double readership path to allow people that are the skimmers to sort of just look it over quickly and to be able to get out of that either enough information to make a decision and or for them to decide that, gee, this is something I am interested in, so let me take the time to read the whole thing. One of the best ways to do that is what my friend Mike Capuzzi calls copy cosmetics, which is actually using different cosmetic techniques in your sales letters in order to get people to be able to just read some of it to get the gist of what you're saying. So things such as headlines, subheads, things such as bolding, different font sizes, different colors, little copy doodles written on the side of it that has something that says, gee, just read this. Things along that lines, which allows for a double readership path. The No BS copywriter that works here at Glazer Kennedy is a gentleman by the name of Robert Phillips. And when he applied for the job, I had him, as a task, write a sales letter to show me how he writes. And I got the sales letter, and I read it over, and we flew him in here to interview for the job after he wrote the sales letter. And I sat across the table from him. I said, Robert, you're a good writer. You can write. We can improve on your writing, but you can write. But the problem is that when you wrote the sales letter, it looks boring. Everything looks boring. So one of the biggest things that we worked with Robert is adding more of these copy cosmetics into his sales pieces to allow for this double readership path, where if you just read certain things, you can again get the whole idea of this, and or you can decide, hey, this is something I'm interested in, and I want to learn a lot more. So now I'm going to sit back and I'm going to read the whole thing. Another place that this is really important to use it at is with all your order forms. Is that when your order form, you also want to make sure you have the double readership path where you can just look at an order form quickly and you can determine from that order form enough information on just reading the things that are pulled out in order to decide whether or not you want to go ahead and make a buying decision or read the rest of the order form and learn more from it. Quite frankly, the order form is oftentimes a very underutilized piece of a marketing tool, and it is the piece where many people go to first because everyone wants to get the answer to the question of how much does this cost, and so everybody goes to those order forms first. Not everybody, but many people do, and so you want to make sure you include the double readership path in there as well. And now in today's Outrageous Marketing Minute, I'm going to share with you a direct mail sales piece that works terrifically in order to do lots of really cool things. And it's actually Keith Lee's puzzle mailer, which is right in my book. And here is a picture of it. You're actually going to see it also in full color coming up on the screen simultaneously. And what it actually has is it has a puzzle piece that's glued right here, and it tells people to like bring this in and see if you won something special. Or in this particular case, it says, I'm puzzled. Are you absolutely sure you made the best possible decision to miss this? And Keith is marketing a seminar that he's getting ready to do. And so you don't even have to bring the puzzle in. It's just a piece that grabs your attention. So this is called a grabber that's on here, and it grabs your attention, and then there's a headline that connects the grabber to the headline. But also, this is a great example of a double readership path, because as you can see on here, there's a headline, there is subheads, there's, in this particular case, there's a little, what's called a lift note, that's paperclip to it. And if you just read the main things on here, you can get enough of the message to decide whether or not you want to go forward or not. So that's a great example of the double readership path, and it's also a great example of how to use grabbers in your mailing. And whenever you use a grabber, you always will get a big boost in response, because something that gives dimension to your mailing, something that makes your mailing lumpy, if you would, always has people respond more to it, especially when they get the envelope and they feel like there's something that's inside. Curiosity makes them open up and read it. And now it's time for Ask Bill. That's me. Today we have a question from a Gold member, Barry Nicholson, in Apollo Beach, Florida. Let me read you the question that I got from Barry. It's a question that I get a lot. Here it is. Barry writes, I'm still a little confused on the difference between discounting and a great offer. And it's a great question. It really is a great question. And I think a lot of people get confused, and they often think that in order to make a great offer, you've got to give a huge discount. In some cases, you've got to actually offer your stuff for free. Now, there is application for this to be of a huge discount, and there's definitely application for doing a free offer for people, because free is one of the most powerful offers that there is. But don't get confused with the fact that in order to make a great offer, you always have to make a huge discount, or you always have to offer something for free. You don't have to do that all the time, and in some businesses it doesn't allow for that, and it's not the recommended strategy. So you've got to look at each individual business and decide which one is the best strategy. But you always do have to have an offer. And not only do you always have to have an offer, but you always have to have a deadline, because there's a basic marketing principle, and that's what this is, which is no offer, no deadline, no offer. So you always have to have the two that is together, linked together. But getting back to Barry's question about, do you always have to have this huge discount, or do you always have to offer something for free? My answer is absolutely no. But you will always want to look at how you can actually make an offer, though. So instead of discounting an offer, what I always recommend people do is try to bundle in with the thing that you're selling other things that make your offer now much, much more exciting. Let's say, for example, you're selling leather furniture, and you're selling a piece of leather furniture. Let's say it's a leather sofa, and your leather sofa, you want to sell that for $997, and you don't want to sell it for any less. But there are lots of people out there that are selling leather furniture for less, and they're really not making any money. Now, they may not survive in business because they're not making any money, but they can sell leather furniture for less money, and for a while they can, until they fail in business, they can cause some confusion in the marketplace and actually take away some of your market share. So how can you combat this, but you want to sell your leather furniture for $997? Well, you can bundle in other things with it. You could bundle in a service that actually plans out for them their room, where all their furniture needs to go in the room in order to make their room most cosmetically pleasing. They can bundle in with that special gunk that you give them with it, that they put on the furniture, and they always keep it nice and clean and keep it water repellent. You can bundle in with it the fact that you'll come out to their home once a year and inspect their leather furniture, and if it has any scratches on it or any kind of little tears in it, you can actually arrange to have it fixed for them as part of the service. So here what I'm saying is that bundle in other things that are related to it, that somebody who's buying a a piece of leather furniture would also want, and it now makes your offer much, much better, and it distinguishes you from your competition. So there's a great example of how you can make a great offer by bundling in lots of other things with it, but not actually cheapening the quality and the value of what you're actually providing. For Barry, as a gift for answering his great question, I have for you this. We're actually going to send it to you. And this is the CDs and DVDs of my live Outrageous Advertising Academy and workshop that I conducted in January 2010 in Orlando, Florida. And so you get to learn all the cool, outrageous strategies that I showed and all the latest outrageous examples. And so this big packet of stuff, this thing is huge. You're going to get all this, Barry, just for asking this really great question. Well, that's it for another one of our episodes, folks. And as my free gift for everyone who's watching, I'll be giving you my book, Outrageous Advertising That's Outrageously Successful, for free. So many folks were watching these shows have been actually sending messages to the Glazer Kennedy office and also on Facebook and Twitter, telling us how much they appreciate the fact that this is yours for free. So if you haven't gotten one of these yet, just go to the link below and claim yours. There's a small, modest fee for shipping and handling, and it's very modest, in order to get your copy of your free book, and $2 of your fee will go to the charity that you choose. So you're actually helping to help out your choice of one of two really worthy charities. And also, it's your way to start getting connected with Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle if you're not already a member. So you can actually get connected with us through getting your free copy of this book. And before you leave, check the sidebar to see how you can find Glazer Kennedy on Facebook and Twitter. And also, make sure to leave your comments about today's episode. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Bill Glazer, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of No BS Live, the place for prosperity without the bull.